And on your battle pass.
Ooh, they get 3 runes on TNC.
Bounty runes here for TNC. There's 2 apiece in the previous game, but 3 this time for TNC. Have the ultimate advantage in the series.
It's really nice about TNC though. The Sven and the AA just... I knew that he might have been trying to be sneaky to steal. That right, I just think it is.
Jarek's wrapping all the way around. I'm surprised. I'm wondering what he's trying to accomplish here at the moment.
Jax is just going to look to try and stack up the creep wave, I think, as much as he can.
So just drag it over.
Just drag it over and, like, just manipulate the creep wave. Because if this is like a static lane in the bot lane, Seb's just going to get absolutely nothing down here. Jax just has to mess with it a little bit.
You actually taking a lot of damage here from Seb. Wow. Already down quite low, forced to use that salve quite early on. The impale thrown by Timms as Jarex will try to drag this lane all the way over. He doesn't have stun for another 4 seconds, but nobody coming to meet him as still Seb's sitting really low and he has to be careful, but no Storm Hammer for 10 and not enough mana regardless.
I'm interested to see whether Thompson does this thing again where he starts to cut the waves. Like between the tier 1 and the tier 2 mid. I've seen him do this a few times now in different matchups, especially on Ember where he can't get a decent lane advantage. Oh,
first blood coming out over top as Cuckoo gets the kill here on Asakshka, and using that sticky napalm to just do, you know, add on to that and make it uncomfortable for the Abaddon to grab that first blood. Anna unable to do anything to help him out, really.
I'll be honest, this top lane's now an absolute disaster. 1, that probably shouldn't happen, right? But 2, this Cuckoo's going to get level 3 before the morph. You can basically just start running him down. You really need to bully this Batrider out in the early levels to help your morph gain some kind of advantage. And if morph gains a level advantage over the offlaner, he usually just wins that kind of like 1v1.
And immediately you see him go in for Anna, but bottom, we take a look here. Jarek's in a little bit of trouble, and we'll get stunned up by the Storm Hammer, and Gabby will grab a kill, so similar to the start that we saw in game 1, where it was 3 straight kills for TNC, and then OG, they got 3 straight kills, and you know how the rest happened. So I'm trying to keep him, Jarek's alive with purification, but just was not enough as they were able to lock him down continuously, more with that Storm Hammer. And again, Inkswell bottom again, Seb, this time taken out, and it's a 3rd kill here for TNC early on. And a really good job of just locking him in, and that was the trialing we were talking about that seemed to be effective. When you've got Storm Hammer, Cold Feet, and an Impale to work with, you needed to be careful on OG, and this is now both outer lanes struggling for OG.
It's such a strong truck. Was that a suicide by Timms? Yeah, it was. Hobson's getting really low mid as well, getting bullied by this OD. This is a matchup that we talked about. I mean, he's getting more than I thought he would in this mid lane, but it's getting to the point now where OD gets like this almost level 5 mark, and he really starts to bully the Ember out the lane, where the Ember really starts to struggle.
Cuckoo doing a lot of damage over top and disrupting this top lane so much. It's been a struggle for OG on both these side lanes, and like you're saying, also over mid, where Thompson's struggling on this Ember.
The best thing though is, at least for Anna on the Morphling, he's getting a decent amount from this lane. Like, he's having almost free farm, you would say. But
boy, Cuckoo coming over to help out ARMEL, and looks like Searing Chains, but unable to get out. And another kill here for TNC, and the first kill over mid.
I like seeing this Batrider pick up a bottle as well. He knows that his OD's not going to be going for one.
Stroke of fate. Hitting on the AU, Seb chasing down the Ancient Apparition. Now the Inkswell placed on him, but they've got the Impale. He's still trying to chase onto the Ancient Apparition, and Jarex ultimately gets that kill onto the AA. Gabby, meanwhile, he's got Storm Hammer in a second. So let's see if they try to stack the stuns with Ancient Apparition coming back. The Chilling Touch, Impale, Cold Feet, Storm Hammer, putting it all together. He only Grace, and he's able to survive. He almost froze over there. That was a moment before he was going to freeze over, and now Tim's might be in trouble. Inkswell stuns him up, Seb right-clicking, and we'll get the kill here onto Tim. So even stacking up all those stuns as we get Gabby. Close as well. Yeah.
I mean, the problem is down here, right, that with the AA, the cold feet would normally be so reliable with these two suns, but because of the Omni Knight, like you saw, all of a sudden this Heavenly Grace just takes off the potential for the extra lockdown from the cold feet. And he's level 4 now. Like, if you're playing this tri lane, you really want to be bullying the Omni Knight enough so that the Sven can gain some kind of an advantage in the lane, so that he can then just, like, deal with the Omni Knight by himself. It free up the next AA to kind of roam around a little bit more afterwards. But it's not worked out like that. Mid as well. Oh god. It's the first sanities.
Up top as I saw Morphling go down to 1 health for a moment. Meanwhile, bottom, Seb again. He's now stunned by the Impale. They've got the Abaddon to help out, though. They don't have the Grimstroke here. As 3 heroes at bottom, I feel like OG could have capitalized on that aggression from TNC. But Spike Carapace Purification coming out, and now Seb without any mana.
Thompson is a level and a half behind the OD from ARMEL. I mean, he is destroying this lane. Like, it is not close at all. Thompson's got 14 CS in 6 minutes, and this is the problem when you... Every game I cast yesterday, when the Ember was picked up in the first phase, the OD was always banned out in the second phase, because the teams understood that this matchup was so difficult for the Ember to play. You're seeing it here, why?
Spotted for a moment. Curry coming all the way down for Gabby to get those phase boots. It's try now, and they've left Anna to be by himself, who's now level 6. Caught up to the Batrider in terms of experience. See if they want to make a move here onto Gabby. Seb's still sitting so low on mana, but he's got that soul. Oops, stun onto the Abaddon. Trying to TP out. Won't be able to turn in OG. That TP from the Abaddon is just right in the face of Nyx. Of course he's going to stun you.
TNC have a 3k net worth advantage already, and we're only 7 minutes into the game. Like this... They're really short. Maybe towards the top lane, if you put it onto the Morphling, you know, he waveforms in. And it's getting dove a little bit here as well.
A lot of damage being done there, and Thompson feeling uncomfortable as there were 2 heroes showing over mid. They don't have the TP on Abaddon, so he wouldn't have been able to help. He's without that TP for 30 more seconds.
I like what TNC are doing here as well. They've moved the Sven to the jungle because they understand that they both then supports really need level 6. So A starting to farm the bot lane to get some XP. They're just being a little bit more efficient overall. How they use the map. Try and get as much of it from the jungle or the lanes as they can. That's one of the best things about the Sven. It doesn't matter how your lane goes, really. You know, when you have these points in Great Cleave, jungle's always there for you.
Especially if it gets stacked by your support. Sometimes we see these heroes with this potential to jungle so well, and you just don't see the stacking that's necessary to be as optimal.
He has taken a triple stack on the Sven already, to be fair. So, you know, he's getting something. Bot lane, AA.
Inkswell. You're trying to get out of this one. Turns back, and it's because Gabby's here, but... Well, Gabby unable to save the life of this ancient bridge. However, they are converging on this bottom lane. A 2-man stun from Tims. The Stormhammer to follow it up. Look at the kill on a Jarek. And the Abaddon will be able to deny himself, but there's the Sanity's Eclipse being thrown into set. Double kill here for ARMEL, and TNC continue to roll.
Great rotation by ARMEL there. You know, you leave Thompson away to get a wave, which he desperately needs, but I mean, ARMEL's getting so much down in that bot lane. He got the Jarek's kill, gets the Seb kill as well. What's the Sanity? When you're going for this Midas on the OD, you want to get it up as quickly as possible.
That means they're going Midas on both the Sven as well as the OD. And there's the Inkswell. Anna was looking for AU, but will come up empty-handed.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The Bounty Rune's about to spawn as well, so team's got to be a little bit careful here.
With the impale, they've got the OG nearby as well as the Ancient Apparition. Will TP over the Bat Rider. Jarek's in a really bad spot, but he'll be able to purge off the cold feet, so he won't be frozen over. They've got the silence onto the Bat Rider, continuing to chase. Adaptive Strike comes in, and Cuckoo in no man's land gets caught out. Not only that, they should be able to pick up 2 bounty runes here over top, and it will end up being 2 for 2 as Gabby picks up the bounty runes bottom.
Yeah, really nice Phantom's Embrace by Jarek's there when he TP'd in. Stopped when the Bat Rider TP'd in, sorry. Stopped him from, really doing anything there.
Stunned again here onto Thompson. Sleight of Fist trying to run it away, but 3 heroes coming over. There's the Chilling Touch. ARMEL with another kill. And this OD, 4-0-1 already, has the Midas finished. 2-0 Talismans, a Wand and Treads looking really good, and this is a problem if you're OG.
This Bat Rider's gone boots and travel first as well. I mean, the whole TNC, the 3 cores are just being so greedy with their farm. Like, this Bat Rider's not rushing Blink or anything to make space. He's just going for it. Like, they're all just farming.
So what do you have to do differently if you're OG? You're allowing them to get away with getting this Midas on both the Sven as well as the OG. They got the stun here onto the Morph as well as the Ice Blast to follow it up. They'll waveform away. Have the Aphotic Shield from
Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah, you can't heal him up with the Mist Coil, but you can use the Aphotic Shield to keep him alive, which is nice. It's difficult for OG, right, because their 2 supports don't really rotate around the map very well. Now, when you play this Grimstroke as a 4 instead of a 5, it's kind of a little bit lethargic. He doesn't really... He's not very mobile when going across the map. Cuckoo top lane.
Well, Cuckoo just on the edge of it. Stroke of Fate also going to miss. But they're still looking for Cuckoo, and I think actually Cuckoo's looking for him. Tims comes over, they've got the Adaptive Strike. Now the Soulbind, that locks in onto Tim, so they know there's a second nearby, but they can't really get over to him. They'll get the kill again onto Cuckoo, who gets caught out for a second straight time, and he didn't use that lasso.
Cuckoo was fine there, I think, right? But he decided to move back to the right again to bump into the Morph. I feel like he should have just hung around to the left as long as he could. Let's fall down. This OD is 85 CS in comparison to the Ember's 36. This is...
And look at the net worth difference, too. Double the net worth of the Ember. More than double, actually. You're doing some better NA math.
Yeah, I want to carry on my point before as well, that although the Abaddon and Grimstroke don't rotate as well, they also have this Omni Knight, which is kind of like another static hero, right? That just wants to sit in a lane and farm a little bit at the start. Ice Blast on the Morph.
Might be in a little bit of trouble as he'll try to run out, but Jerax will end up biting the dust here.
Really?
Mel now on a mega kill streak.
There's so much net worth on this OD. The thing is, right, like, it's nice that you get the kills on the supports here, but for OG, the most important thing is that your Morph doesn't die at this point, because he's your only real saving grace here. Sven has a Midas, like Bat Rider has BOTs, OD has a Midas. Like, all these heroes are just going to scale so well into the mid to late game now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
OG are so far behind it, but there's not much they can do in terms of aggression. Maybe if they put it all together and fight as 5, they can get a couple of kills here, but if they fight as 5 and that fight goes poorly, that's just going to boost what TNC's got an advantage.
Okay, so good thing for OG is Topson's gone for this build where he hasn't got any points in Flame Guard, which is going to allow him to actually fight really well early on with this change with the Inkswell.
Now the Inkswell coming through. They've got the Soulbind placed onto ARMEL. The last drone prison himself, keep himself alive. Ice Blast coming out onto the Abaddon. They've also got the lasso on the Ember. The Sanity's Eclipse is going to be dropped now. Gabby comes into the mix. They get the kill onto the Ember as well as the Abaddon. 2 more in a bad spot as Anna forced to waveform away with the Inkswell on him. They'll turn into the Nyx, get a 3-man stun, eat a stun from the real Nyx, and in a lot of trouble trying to get out of this one. Seb trying to keep him alive, back into the Nyx form. Inkswell on top of Jerax, but unable to do anything as he falls. And Seb and Anna back off all the way to the tier 1 tower, somehow surviving. God Strength gets popped by Gabby, looking over at Seb. They've got the stun, moving forward, and Tim's looking to summon the Abaddon once again. So he's in a bad spot with the Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, and eventually Gabby will get the kill. They will get the deny on the Abaddon, but 3 heroes dead on OG, and they lost this fight miserably. I mean, Thompson's chains. Maybe get one in return, but there's the Vendetta. Sleight of Fist again. Not going to be enough. Remnants over. Still trying to kill the Abaddon. 15 health.
Chain stuff.
He can't do 15 health of damage, and he will end up losing his life chasing this Abaddon. And on top of it, there's the tips, handing it out, making it rain on Thompson with those TI shards, and they'll get the kill on the Jerax. 15-6, 7,000 net worth lead here for TNC.
They're going to get 4 bounty runes as well on TNC. I mean, this game's just snowballing out of control for OG, unfortunately. Like, this Morphling's going for Lincoln Sphere first, which is nice, but it's not going to help him do damage in these fights either, and it feels like that's what they're really lacking, just because Thompson's so far behind from the laning stage. Really need your Ember to be really strong in this mid game to help make space for this Morphling. It just hasn't happened that way.
They are up a creek without a paddle right now for OG.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Just so far ahead. Look at the net worth of the OG and the Sven. Blink Dagger already here for ARMEL. Echo Saber finished off for the Sven. He's going into the BKB. They're so ready for these fights right now, and with the Midases boosting them up and these continual wins in fights boosting them even further ahead of OG, it doesn't feel like OG have much to throw at TNC.
Look what OD's got queued up next as well. We talked about it earlier. When this Hex comes out, all of a sudden, game's going to go completely crazy. And it's even just the extra int for the Sanity's Eclipse multiplier as well.
Smoked up and come over towards bottom. They'll look over at Thompson. Oh, try to remnant. The stun gets missed as well as the Ice Blast. There's a Sleight of Fist Searing Chains. Zeb rotates over. They've got 4, now 5. The remnant forward looking for Cuckoo. They're at least trying to get one out of this, but this is the chains and Cuckoo's just too fast.
How did he miss the chains? He was using Sleight of Fist and he was standing right next to the bat. I don't think he got fogged. It's weird.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Look how low in net worth this Abaddon is. Just getting caught out here. Cuckoo able to do whatever he wants to this Scream Stroke. And there's not much that they can do on the side of OG to retort that.
This Fat Rider's just so fast as well, right? Like, he has got Boots of Travel, he has drums. Before the drums active's been popped, he's already sitting at 415 movement speed.
Dire's top tower is
like, nobody from OG can really keep up with that at the moment. And you see what they're doing at the moment? The Omni Knight's just sitting behind the Morphling because they need a Purge available, just in case Anna gets gone on.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Not easy for OG.
5 heroes here over towards top of Blink forward, and he's got the Astral Imprisonment as well as the Ice Blast, setting it up with the Impale and a very dead Thompson, and they'll line it up with the Storm Hammer and continually just hand out tips.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is fallen.
Tim's is right under Seb, while 4 heroes are here for TNC, but they are starting to rotate over towards this Omni Knight. They've set up a vision, they'll look to get another kill here. The last one with the Blink Astral Imprisonment. This time, Tim's moving forward with the Vendetta, looking over at Seb. They start to converge, but this seems to be a little bit too slow. Stormhammer, Ink Swell, the damage from Gabby. They've got the stun as well as the silence. Anna trying to do as much damage as he can here. He's joined here by the Abaddon, and Gabby just in no man's land. He takes one before he dies, but that is a 7-time streak going the way of the Morphling. He will buy out of the BKB before he falls too.
Oh, at least they get the Spectre though, right? That's such a massive kill for Anna in terms of gold.
This Jenkins first, going into what looks to be the Eagle next, but he's the Eagle Song, and then the BKB left for his full build, or what he's looking at for right now. He's just picked up the Ghost Scepter.
They're gonna smoke up.
There's smoke from OG, trying to play aggressive off that kill on the Sven, knowing that he's not going to be around potentially over bottom.
I mean, this... As long as Tim's just hangs around in the trees here, like, OG aren't really going to get anything from this. Oh, Gabby's coming over, actually.
Ice Blast setting it up and might be very dead. And Sleight of Fist, he's got the Remnant trying to get away, but the rest of TNC are here to get the kill. The look over at the Abaddon, they'll continue to give chase. The Soulbind is thrown at the Batrider and the OD. Anna trying to do all he can to save his Abaddon, who's actually buying a little bit of a time for his inevitable death. Well. Gabby on the back line with the BKB being popped. They'll finally look over at the Abaddon, who will deny himself after all that hard work from TNC.
The Ember's effectively just not a hero at this point, right? Like, it's his job that he basically has to just keep cutting creep waves and just sacrificing himself so that Anna can have the space to farm. When you're this far behind, you just don't have any of the map to work with. So Anna needs whatever space OG have, because he's the only way that they're going to come back into this game. You know, when that E-Blade comes online, maybe he gets some kills onto the AA in the back line. You know, help his team stop dying to the... all their eggs in one bar. He's going to have to just play really sacrificial now and just play the lanes.
If given enough time, do you think Anna can pull it out all by himself? Or not all by himself, but with how far behind Thompson is. Feels like it would be all by him. Meanwhile, got the Spike Carapace, and Anna's turned into the Nyx, though. Remnant forward looking for the Nyx Assassin. They've got the Searing Chains onto the Sven. They'll get the kill. They'll look over at Gabby. The Stormhammer gets thrown here at Sakshka, and he'll pop the BKB to TP out.
It's like Roche just... I feel like these kind of like one-for-one trades are so bad for TNC. They just have to make sure they're not giving away anything for free.
They're trying for Cuckoo, and he morphs into the Nyx Assassin, Spike Carapace. That'll lock the Batrider in place. They've got the Inkswell too. And one more shot, Thompson will get the kill, and much-needed gold going his way.
Like, this works for TNC at the start of the game, right, where you have these three cores that are all being greedy, but it's getting to the point of the game now where they need to start playing in pairs and in threes on TNC side, you know, if they're not five all the time. Got to be a little bit more careful here.
Hex finished on Armel. They've got 12,000 net worth lead, a lot of padding, a lot of comfort at the moment. To see if OG can start to pull it back, but TNC definitely postured and in the in the driver's seat of this game.
Thompson can afford a javelin. This is a big moment for him. You got to make the most of it here. Poor guy.
Been a rough game. 1-7 and 6. 7 deaths, a lot of them happening during the laning phase as well. Over mid, he just got absolutely walloped by Armel.
I mean, this is the problem though. This is the problem if you pick the Ember up in the early stages of the draft. It's like not right towards the end. That it does have this option to be counterpicked. And like I said, everybody else was banning out OD yesterday. OG just decided they didn't want it.
Looking over at Jerax, they've got the Euros. They'll look for the stun. The Impale will land. The right click's coming through. They've also got the lasso. That'll hit onto Thompson. There's the two-man Ice Blast. The ulti's going to be popped here by Sim. They'll get the kill to Jerax. They'll ram it away, trying to get out of the hands of TNC, into the hands of Armel. Ends up going down to Cuckoo. The BKB's been popped by Gabby, and Anna forced to waveform even further away to disengage. They lose 2 once again. TNC overwhelming OG, doing it with ease.
Do they want to go Roche here, or what are they? Gabby's stuck in trees. Okay. Just chilling, man. Being the ward. We're playing Artesian. It's fine. Ward here as well for off of OG. Feels so sad. They need every bit of information they can in these fights to have any chance of winning them. If anybody in Twitch chat wants to know what it's like to play position 5 in a game like this, just look at what the Abaddon's items are.
I was about to mention that the Ancient Apparition at 3,400 net worth has about 5 times the net worth of the Abaddon. That is the rough life of what feels like a position 6.
Boxier's like, they're like, oh, how do you fancy standing in today? Because, you know, No-Tail's not well, so we really need you. And he's like, yeah, I'm sure, I can't wait for this really fun and interactive gameplay with my team. And he's like 24 minutes into the game, he's got 600 net worth as Abaddon. He's like, this isn't what I signed up for, guys. Please. Come on.
Double damage.
TNC is smoked up. Looks like they're not going to be able to hit anything.
Radiant
OG sneak this Roche right now? They even try to sneak this Roche right now? That would risk it.
Both teams were just smoking for the bounty rune spawns. Like, they're just mirroring each other's movements. TNC were expecting, like, one person to be down in the bot lane to pick up the bounties. OG just happy with their 5-man getting 2 bounty runes stop.
Been all TNC. They look so good this game. Such a turnover from last game. In a game that they look good in, but this is far and beyond what we saw in the last game. Overwhelmed OG the way they did them previously.
I mean, when Gabby gets to stageless as well on the Sven, he's going to be absolutely destroying fools. Like, I don't think anybody on the OG side can like live up to that damage coming out from the Sven. They have this Abaddon and the Omni Knight to save them, so that's going to be key. You know, can you use this Guardian Angel effectively? And he is going for the Halberd next on Seb as well, who's really going to help against the OD and the Sven.
Anna. Oh, Tibbs! There it is. He came over at the right time to stop that TP. But now they're going to go. And Thompson's committed back over. The E-Boy gets thrown, and everybody's starting to show up for TNC. They've got Seb. Might want to try and get out of this one. He'll morph into this Nyx Assassin and impale the team that has the original Lance.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They get out of that unscathed. But that's a close call right there for OG.
It's really scary as well for OG, right, that this OG's really close to BKB, and ARMEL's been playing so well this game. When he gets that online, all of a sudden this E-Blade on the morph can't even do anything to the OD anymore. Like, he's going to be completely untouchable in that BKB duration.
Impale, God's Strength, Ice Blast coming in, and Seb's going to end up dying. He's on a lot of the sustain here for OG. And then Thompson, he's the victim next. We're actually surviving, gets to the back lines. I thought he might be dead. They end up taking Jerax instead. But oh, there's the Spike Carapace. Down goes the Abaddon. Sanity's Eclipse blowing up Anna, who buys back immediately with 3 heroes.
Yeah, as soon as Seb dies first in that fight, the fight's all TNC. They just wipe through them. We talked about that Guardian Angel being really key against the Sven, and unfortunately without it being there, that was a really good catch from TNC. Exactly the way you want to start the fight for them.
It's just perfect play from TNC there. They're playing it so well. They've been playing it so well the entire game. 21,000 net worth lead. They went for Seb. They knew to get him first. He's a lot of the sustainability on the side of OG. And is OG even realistically have any team fight without the Omni?
No. No is the straight answer to that. I mean, it's pretty difficult to get the catch that you want, right, when you're playing against these 2 defensive heroes in the Abaddon and the Omni Knight, because technically if one of them gets gone on, the other one should be able to save the other, right? But the TNC have so much damage between their 2 cores. They have decent amounts of control as well. Like, they've got the Sven stun, the Lasso, the Nyx stuns, the Hex on the OD, and they're all coming from different sources. Like they're reliant on one hero for this lockdown.
Trying to go for this Roche, but there's the Ice Blast as well as the BKB going to be popped here by ARMEL. They're going to go into the Abaddon. They'll look over at Seb. They'll get the kill. And now, like we were just talking about, without Seb, are they even really a team? They try to get the kill here onto Cuckoo. They will finally find one. Jerax running away from ARMEL, who is silenced for the moment. But while that's happening, Anna will be taking a ride against TNC squad, trying to survive, gets impaled. ARMEL finally finishes off Jerax, who just gets soulbound, but surviving, but eventually hexed. ARMEL right-clicking away the waveform out of the low ground. The TP attempt, the Lincoln's popped in, gets away! Woo.
Yeah, Sven couldn't get down to the low ground. Unfortunately, the Lincoln's cancelled out the Astral Imprisonment from the OD as well, but unfortunately, the Sven's not there in time. They are going to get the Roche for themselves, at least on TNC. Like, it's still a good fight from them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they've got control. The Roche spin now, they'll take the first Roche of the game, get themselves the Aegis, and up by so much. I mean, it's almost like they're playing with their food.
I mean, OG understand that the only way they come back into this game is by doing really, crazy things. They're so far behind, they have to make plays to So they go for that Roche. You know, unfortunately it doesn't work, but yeah, again, if Seb dies at the start of the fight, there's no chance that OG have of winning it. Bounty rings.
Onto ARMEL. We are
Dire's
nearby.
middle
They're
tower is under attack.
here looking over at TNC. And it looks like they're going to take this last-ditch effort fight over by the bounty rune if the need be.
I mean, we saw this from OG last time up in the top lane. They got the 2 bounty rings, and they understand, you know, how much gold they are. It's really important, especially at this 30-minute mark. I don't know how much gold they are exactly, but you know, a 2k net worth swing for them would be huge at this point.
Only they come over and it just too late. The bounty runes are already picked up by TNC, who have full map control. Option's waiting here inside the trees. He's going for this Ags if he ever gets it. Let's see if he gets the gold for it.
It's,
of course, Anna looking for his BKB.
Let's play games with Twitch chat. Press 1 if you think he's going to finish the Ags. Press 2 if you don't think he'll finish the Ags. I know what I'd go for. With the way this game's been played out at the moment.
Courier's going to die. Bringing it over.
Oh, did he sell something on Seb to pick up that halberd? I don't know what he sold, but he didn't have the gold when I looked a second ago.
Radiant are scanning.
Silence on ARMEL, stroke of faith, then the remnant behind. They were looking with Tim's. They've got the soulbind, so this is setting up quite nicely for OG. The best of setup so far, but the 2-man sun comes up from Tim's. He's got that air distance. He's able to survive the center. His cook's going to be dropped down. Look at the kill on the same. They look over at the Abaddon, getting right clicked by ARMEL, looking forward for even more. They've got the heals here on Jarek. Sleight of Fist comes out, but they'll grab another one. 3 heroes dead. They'll continue on to the base. They'll morph into the next assassin. Pop the spike carapace. It'll stun off Tim's. Waveform over to the left. There's the E-Blade X. Anna trying to survive, trying to make a play happen here with not much help from Thompson. Finally pops the Aegis, so it's something. Anna still alive, but everybody's here. He turns into the Styx again and stuns them up. Can he survive once more? No, not this time. However, Tim's does eventually fall. Thompson gets a kill. It seems like it's his first kill in who knows how long.
Hashtag road to Ags. Here we go. He's getting close. Yeah, I mean, ARMEL, he did so much damage in that fight, and you can't see how much int he stole, because when he died on the Aegis, you lose all the original int that you had. Yeah, with the Shivas as well, now has the extra armor just to tank himself up.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Tankiness coming through from TNC.
Dire's bottom shrine has fallen.
I like that AA's building a spirit vessel, by the way.
Radiant's top tower is
It's
under
the spirit
attack.
vessel, but he still needs a spirit vessel, just in case.
It was the item that almost replaced his job back when it was first released.
Oh, the Hex.
Link forward, there's the Hex. Thompson getting low and stunned up here by Gabby. They'll throw the ult, but it's a little bit too late to save Thompson. The Soulbind comes in. They've also got the silence as well as Heaven's Halberd on both these heroes. After imprisonment, staying alive, Seb without any mana. He's got the Aphotic Shield on him, and he is quite tanky. The big kid is going to be popped here by ARMEL. He's moving forward. There's the lasso to get the kill to Jarek. Thompson trying to do something, but Hexed up. Triple kill for Gabby, looking for it all. Seb still alive.
Give him the rampage.
The rampage, give it to him. Give it to this man, ARMEL. Come on. Are you kidding me? Come on. GG is by OG. TNC, get the game. We're going to a game 3.
But Gabby manages to get to the secret shop to buy his 8.
Heather's
Big brain play.